Hey everyone, welcome back to my next video. Now, as you can see, I've got an EcoFlow Delta Max, and this is much bigger, and it is the EcoFlow dual fuel generator. So you can see I've got a propane tank over here, and they're connected. It runs on either propane or gas, and that sets it apart. As far as I know, no one else is manufacturer of power stations is making a generator as well. There may be, and I'm just not aware of it, but I thought that was a really amazing thing. Now, they both will come with an app, and they connect together and work together really well. And so today's review is on the dual fuel smart generator, and that's what we're testing today. I have gone ahead and set it up and done a first start and run it. So I'm that far ahead of the curve, and I'll show you in just a minute what I did to get it started. And it was actually delightfully easy. One of the things that makes them work together so well is the generator comes with this long cable. And like most modern power stations, they connect external batteries. And this is the plug-in for the external battery. But so they put this on there, and so they will connect directly. And because they're both smart and they know each other and they talk to each other, it will allow it to charge the fastest possible. Now, this is an 1800-watt generator, and it will charge this at the full 1800 watts. And that's about as fast as charging gets. Not only that, but you can charge this with solar while this is charging it. But what else makes this thing really exceptional? It's one of these small generators with an electric start. And that's important because you can, using the app, you can set on here when you want it to turn on the generator. So I just think this is a fantastic system. And that's why I broke down and spent my money. I got a deal. They're expensive. That's one of the things about EcoFlow is they're pretty expensive. The retail on the generator is $1,700. You can get them regularly on Amazon for $1,200. I paid $1,200 for this one. So I spent $1,200 on the generator, and I spent $1,200 on the EcoFlow Delta Max. Now, I wasn't aware when I bought it, it does not have LiFePO4 batteries. It has lithium ion. And it says, they will tell you themselves, it will only give you 800 cycles. They've upgraded, and that's, they're all constantly upgrading, Blue Eddy especially, and EcoFlow. And now the Delta 2 Max, which is the next generation, is LiFePO4, and so you probably want to buy it instead. One of the problems with both of these EcoFlows is neither of them have a 30 amp service, and I think that's a terrible mistake. This is fantastic for an RV, but they don't give you a 30 amp service. You can buy a converter, but then that's not the safest thing you can do. I'm not an expert on any of that. I don't know. Next, I'll jump right into starting it, and I'll show you that, and we'll go from there. So getting ready to do the first start, there's some things you have to do first. First, right here is the engine oil. We have to fill that. It always comes with no engine oil. To get engine oil in here, you have to go and buy engine oil because they don't give it to you. It's only going to use like 1/3 of a quart. The manual never discussed the filter. This is the filter. It does just talk about how to clean it. And to clean it, you take it out, use soap and water, which is standard stuff. And then you oil it. And then you rinse it out really good. You don't want it dripping oil, but you want oil in it. And it doesn't say if it came oiled or not. So I checked it, and it did. When I press against this, it leaves a slight film of oil on my fingers, but it's not dripping or anything like that. So it's oiled perfectly. That goes in here. This is the battery, this blue thing here. This is the connection from the battery. This leaves the battery, goes down to here, and then it continues on down into the engine. These are disconnected, so it can't drain the batteries. So it probably leaves the factory full. They disconnect them so there can't be any accidental discharge, you have to reconnect them. Back here is the choke, which I don't understand that. Maybe it's electronic. And it almost never talks about using the choke. You can't reach it from the outside. You have to open the case. So we have the electronics connected. We know there's oil on the foam filter. The only thing we have left to do before we can try and start it is to take the dipstick out and put oil in. It does come with a really nice filler, so you can plug that in there and hold it up here. You put oil in until it starts to drip out. To do your initial oil fill, or every oil fill, this has to be level, because if it's not level, it won't come out, and it may be too full or it may be under full. You may not have enough oil. Okay, why don't we go ahead and fill this baby up with oil? You want to go slow. You don't want much, because you'll know it's too much when it stops. So I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's oil right up to the coming a little bit out of the filler. So it's completely full. So I think that's about it. I'm going to let that set drip out a little bit longer. But basically everything is done here. The engine should be ready to run and start. Okay, so we've done all the preliminaries to get this one running. The next step is to connect the hose. They give you a hose and a regulator. So it is a quick connect, quick disconnect. This, the outlet is coming out. This is the quick connect. You just push it on and maybe you'll be able to hear it. Yeah, and give it a tug. It can't come off. Over here is the on and off. What I will do, because this has never had oil in it before, I want to get the oil circulating around the engine to avoid that initial wear and tear on metal to metal without a film of any oil. So I'm going to turn it off, and then I'm just going to slowly turn it over. This moves the piston up and down, opens and closes the valves. So I am getting that oil up all through the engine. Now that I've gotten some oil up in the engine, I'm going to put it on, and here comes the moment of truth. Will this thing start for me? And I don't think I have to do anything here but hit the starter switch. Oh, it's not going to start. You got to open the valve on the propane tank. I did not. Just keeps trying until it starts. Wow, it did it, and it did it well. I think you can probably still hear me. It's very quiet. All these inverter generators are about the same. They're between 60, 70 decibels. I've gone ahead and run the EcoFlow down. It's at 8% right now, a little lower than I would have liked. I have got the app connected, the EcoFlow app connected both to the smart generator. I can control the generator through the app, and it's also connected to the Delta Max. I can control them both at the same time on the app. So the thing I want to do today, right now, is test the auto start. I'm going to set it to go on at 30%, and it's at 8%, so it should just automatically come on. I've got the long 16-foot cable that goes into the Delta Max, and it goes then into right here into the generator, and the generator, as you can see, is plugged in to propane. The one thing you have left you must do is to turn it on. Now it should start. There it goes. There it started. It is charging at 1600 watts. So that is a very fast charge. And on propane, this is a 1600 watt generator. It's putting out the maximum amount it can into it. Once it's up to 100%, it will automatically go off. It's 11:20, and I will tell you when it ends. You didn't see it because I turned the camera off. No point in it just recording nothing. But I came out and sat here and watched it as it got real close. And so I was here when it went off. It went off at 12:45. So it ran for an hour and 20 minutes, and it is now at 100%. So that's really fast. In an hour and 20 minutes, it's charged it from 8% to 100%. And I'm also very sure that I could also have the a solar panel attached to it. That'll be my next experiment. I'll double check that. I'm almost certain it's true. I am certain it's true, but I'll demonstrate it. That you can have a solar panel connected to it and then start this, and they'll both charge in together. The less you run this, the less you have to listen to it, and the less fuel you're burning. The only reason I really wanted this is for bad weather days. Generally, I have all the solar I need, except in December and January. Then you have the short days, sun's low on the horizon. I will run out of power in those days. So a generator will run an hour, 20 minutes a day and keep this thing at 100% full. And if I'm getting any sun at all, it will be even less. I told you I'd go ahead and check it to see if you can charge on solar and the generator both at full charge at the same time. So I've set up my solar panel. It's only a 200 watt, and my generator is charging. It has continued to work perfectly, but it's also taking a full charge off this panel. I'm only getting 130 watts out of this panel and 1,600 watts out of this generator. So that means I'm putting in 1,730. That means you can charge fast, really, really, really fast. I like that a lot. The faster it charges, the less fuel you burn, the less oil changes you have to do, the extend the length and life of the generator. So fast charging is good. So let me give you my final thoughts on the EcoFlow Smart Generator. First, I love the thing. I love the electric start. I love the way it connects to EcoFlow power stations, how it charges them super fast, while it's charging them off solar. It's really well made. It's just a great generator. I have it here sitting beside another generator, and this one also is dual fuel, and of course that's dual fuel. I wouldn't buy anything that wasn't dual fuel. This is just my personal opinion, but yeah, I think you really want to run propane and not gas. Gas doesn't store well. If you have it too long, it goes bad. It will go bad in your carburetor if you let it set too long, and it's really dangerous to carry 5 gallons of gas around with you. It takes up space, it smells, it explodes in a heartbeat. Propane's the way to go for a generator. But all that said, I love this. I highly recommend it, but it's $1,200 on a good sale. It's like $1,500, $1,600 on regular price, and that's a killer. For most of us, that's way too much. If you have the money, I think it's worth it for all of its advantages. But, and this is a big, big but, this Pulsar belongs to a friend of mine. She spent $400 on this Pulsar generator, and she's been using this thing for a year and a half. So she's running air conditioning basically all summer, all the time, and this thing has worked perfectly for her. This is a Pulsar. There'll be a link for it down in the description. So you got to ask yourself, this is $1,200, this is $400. You can buy 3 of these for the price of 1 of these. Is that electric start worth it to you? That's something only you can answer. If you have the money and you're not on too tight a budget, my answer is probably. It probably is. It may not last 3 times as long, but for me, the convenience is enough. I do own this. I bought it and I'm going to keep it. If you have to run an air conditioner, or if you just want to be ready for a week or 2 or 3 of rain or the winter, bad weather in the winter, where you might get a week of clouds and the very short days and your power all runs out, this is a perfect fill-in. So I hope that gives you a good idea about generators and what you might want and need. give you a new idea about the advantages of an electric start. Okay, if you got anything out of all that, I hope you did. Like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, pound away at that thing, hit it a lot. And I'll appreciate it if you did. Tell your friends. Share this channel with your friends, and maybe they will find some value in it as well. Keep coming back, and I'll see you on the next video.